Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode.
This week's free episode.
Yeah.
You can check out the bonus episode over at patreon.com/The Froe Show.
Yeah, heaps of additional content over there, so check it out.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Froe Show. My name is Froe, and I'm joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hello, Froe.
This is episode 55.
55.
55. Wow. Yeah, it's numbers.
Wow.
Numbers and stuff.
Every weweek we say it.
Every week it's going up.
Yep.
It's almost like we do the show weekly.
Wow.
And then when we do it weekly, the number goes up. Who'd have thought, right?
One? Wow.
I know, crazy. So I'm gonna jump right in
Oh.
on the start here. Goodbye music.
Yep, there we go.
I'm gonna talk about my weekend experience.
Your weekend experience.
The one that I called you about.
Oh, yes. I wanted you to talk about this first, to get it off your chest.
Yeah. So all right, cool. So I'm obviously not going to say any names or I might change names. That makes it a bit easier. Anyway, so I screwed up a job on the weekend, sort of, indirectly. And it wasn't a massive job. It was like a couple $100 that would have just gone in my pocket. But further consequences have been ensued.
Yes.
And I will talk about that at the end of the story. But so this is what happened. So I have a friend of mine. I'm going to call him Ben. Mm-hmm. On Friday night, Ben gave me a phone call at like 8 o'clock. Right. I was at the climbing gym, and he goes, "Hey, I have an issue. I've double booked myself for tomorrow. And I've called heaps of people. No one's free. Can you cover me for this gig?" And I said, "Yeah, man, sure. Like, it doesn't sound too hard." It was like, he was like, "All right, cool. It'll be like 2 or 3 hour gig. Can you meet me on the south side of Brisbane in like an hour?" I was like, "All right,
fine.
Sure. I can meet you on the south side of Brisbane in an hour." So, I drove like 40 minutes to get there.
From climbing.
Yeah, well, I went and did something first, so I was slightly further out. But I got there. It was like 7:30. He ran me through the gig, gave me the gear. So it was the company's gear. So this guy is doing a freelance job for another company. He is now shifting this job off to me. So I'm taking the gear from the company. It's their camera, their equipment. Right. So he gives me the brief, gives me the rundown. I'm there for like 45 minutes, and he's just explaining everything. He tells me that I'm gonna go film a sports event. I'm not gonna say what sports event, but I'm gonna go film a sports event, and the idea is for me to film the entire thing in one go. From start to finish, don't cut it halftime. Get it all in one, because it's for the coaches and for potential recruiters. So this is like an ADIV game, high level sports.
So wait, can you just explain how you did that? Because I was confused when you told me about it. Did you just like set up a camera at like the halfway line or something?
I'll get there. Cool. So he explains to me the job and everything and says, here's like the numbers that you need to call. And essentially it was pretty far away from where I live. It was a 2-hour drive from where I live north. And then from there, I had to drive to the headquarters of the actual company, which was on the south side of Brisbane. So I drove for 5 hours that day and then did a 2-hour shoot. So, yeah. And so... Anyway, Saturday morning comes around. I drive up to the gig, and I set up. It's at a field, and I set up at the halfway line, at the center line. Oh yeah. And I'm like slightly elevated, and I've just got a tripod, and I've got it was a Sony XD cam, one of the older ones. Right. And so I've got it on the tripod with a panning head. I have the X-axis unlocked and have the Y-axis locked. So I'm just turning and I'm zooming in and out as the game goes on. Yeah. Goes really, really well. I'm super happy with it. I'm cruising. It's a super cruisy job. Probably one of the easiest jobs I've ever done.
Oh, see.
I don't have to move. I just sit there and I film. And I just make sure that I get everything in shot, basically. And like if they're doing specific things, I have to get specific shots. So like if they're talking to a ref, I have to make sure that you can see the ref's face and the player's face that the ref is talking to, stuff like that.
They must have had a pretty big zoom on that.
Yeah, it was like a 25 times zoom. It was an optical zoom, so it was like it was a good zoom.
Yeah,
you could get real close. Anyway, so it was an 80-minute game. Went great. Was doing really well. Last 5 minutes, I start getting issues with focus, and so the whole camera is auto. There is no manual settings on the camera. So what started happening was it was starting to focus really, really shallow. So everything was blown out. Like you couldn't see anything. And I tried fixing it. I was zooming in and out, trying to fix it. But I was like, you know what? Like it's the last 5 minutes of play. I'll just cut here and I'll reset the camera. So I cut the footage, turned the camera off. Like I waited for a little bit to try and make sure that it was fine. Yeah. Restarted the camera, and then started recording again. Everything was fine. Focus was fixed. Happy days. Sweet. Packed down. Got everything done. Drove down to the south side. Handed it back. Spoke to them. They were like, "Man, if you're keen to do some more work with us, like you know, we'll get something sorted. Like here's our card. Here's my number. Give me a call next week. Blah blah blah." Yep. And I was like, "Yeah, man. Like for sure. Would love to do more work like this." And then I drive away, blissfully unaware. And I was super confident in the footage. They were like, "Oh, you know, how do you feel about it?" I was like, "I think I did really well. Like it looks really good. I'm happy with it." Blissfully unaware. I drive away. I go to the gym. I'm probably not in the gym for more than 5 minutes. Like it has been 45 minutes since I left the headquarters. Yeah. And I get a text message from Ben, the guy who I got the job from. He goes, "Hey man, I need to talk to you about the footage." And I went, and like immediately heart sinks to your stomach. Yeah. Because you're like immediately like 1,000 things go through your head. Like, is the footage bad? Is it overexposed? Did I not shoot correctly? Like, is it not the right brief? Stuff, all this stuff. Yep. And so he goes, "I'll give you a call in 5 minutes."
That's even worse.
And I go, "Okay." And so I'm just like sitting there outside of the gym, just like in the car park, just like waiting with my phone. And then so he starts calling, and you like have the moment where your phone buzzes and you go, "Yeah." Okay. I pick up the phone, and Ben goes, "So they've just copied all the footage across, and there's only 45 minutes of footage from an 80-minute game." And immediately, I'm gonna bleep this. Yeah. Immediately, I went. That was my immediate reaction.
Did you say that?
No, that was just mental.
Yeah.
No, in actuality, I said, "What?"
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that I filmed at the very least 75 minutes of footage, if not more. Yeah. And so he goes, "Yeah, like there's no footage. Like there's 45 minutes in the first clip, and then the last 3 minutes of play in the second clip. So there's 30 minutes of footage that is just unaccounted for." What? And so I go, "Okay. I have no idea what's happened here." Yeah. And so he immediately, obviously and absolutely rightfully so, starts going like, like rookie error, you just didn't button on, you didn't record it, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, like I'm being very clear here. I did not stop the recording until the last 5 minutes of play. Yeah. And for context, it's literally like the whole of the first half, halftime, first 5 seconds of the second half, nothing. Like that's where it stops.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And so I was very, very clear. I was like, "Look, I know for a fact that I was recording. Yeah. I was watching it. I was literally using the the timer on the recorder as my timer for how much longer is left in the game. Like I know for a fact that I was recording." Right. Anyway, so it ended up being like, I was like, "I'll call them. I'll have a chat to them and see what's actually going on here." Yeah. And so I gave them a call. A guy at the company picks up. obviously very pissed, and understandably so. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm just trying to explain as much as I can, trying to understand as much as I can, because I'm still completely in the dark here. I have no idea what's happened. And so I'm talking to him, and just trying to get the same point across. Like, look, I didn't stop recording until the last 5 minutes of play. It should all be there, and I don't understand why it's not. Anyway, because it's a freelance job, he's like, look, I can't really talk to you about this. I have to go through Ben, because technically it's his job.
Yeah.
So, like, you can explain as much as you want, but, like, in the end, it's on him. And so I was like, cool. Anyway, Ben was at the other shoot that he was doing that he double booked himself for. So he was like, I'll call you back in a couple hours. Got a phone call from him at like 11 p.m. And talked to him a little bit. And it eventually came down to what we think happened was because it's an older camera, it needs more time to encode the footage. So during that reset, all the footage that was still encoding onto the SD card just got wiped, basically.
So it's like the first 45 minutes encoded properly.
Yeah.
And then by the time you hit record again, it was only halfway through.
Yes, exactly.
Ah.
So that's what I think happened. I'm not going to call them and ask. But yeah, I haven't heard anything since then. So that's kind of the end of that saga. That was Saturday night, and I haven't heard from anyone since. So I probably won't contact them for more work.
No? Maybe like 6 months? Call them back?
Look, I think this might be a sign that sports broadcast is not for me.
Right. Is that what they like do mostly?
That's it. Like they are a sports like video company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. No.
So
maybe I'll do it.
no, it's cruisy but really stressful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very strange. The weird little mix. But I'm just going to take that as my universal sign. Sports broadcast, not for me. Learnt my lesson.
I can't believe that happened though.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I was not happy.
No.
I was having a little bit of a breakdown about it.
Well, like I understand when that happens for like audio stuff, but you know, I've never had it for something like that where you can't do it again.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like if it was something that I could shoot again, it'd be easy. But like that game's done.
Yeah,
like,
you can't shoot that again.
So lesson learned, and this is for us. B cams,
Great.
always B cam.
I also, what about like using your own gear?
Yeah, so I'm not going to use anyone else's gear now.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. That like that's put me off using hiring gear,
Nah, hard pass.
or at least the B cam has to be ours.
At least I at least need to know the gear really, really well, and be doing everything myself.
Yeah.
So not like palming
Not
off.
auto.
No, I mean like not palming off gear after a gig's done or something.
Right. What? Yum.
Yum. I think that's below the camera line anyway.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So always using our own gear. Always have a B cam. Don't rely on just the one camera. And don't use gear from 2006.
No. Yeah. Oh, that's so.
Yeah. It sucks. It
Yeah,
really sucks.
yeah.
Like it's just one of those things where it's like there's no happy ending.
No.
Like this is just what happened.
It just.
And it just kind of sucks big doo-doo butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my little story.
Yep.
I think that's going to be the title of the episode as well. How I lost a company $1,000.
Oh, really?
I think so. I would assume it's somewhere around there.
Well, how much would they?
They were going to pay me a couple $100. So I would assume,
Yeah.
given gear rental and all that fun stuff, it would have been at least like 800 or something.
Probably because they would have. What would happen with them after that? Because the
I
client would have called them out.
Yeah, I would assume they contacted the client and said, "Look, like something's gone wrong here," and they'll give them a free game like that. They just won't charge them for that game.
Yeah.
And then they'll film another game.
Right.
So
If they go back to them.
yeah, that as well. If the client's not like, well, screw you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun little weekend.
Sounds like fun.
And then I went climbing on Sunday and climbed for like 9 hours.
Yeah, nice.
And I ripped my fingers apart as well.
Yeah, you showed
Like
me
I took
that.
a big gash out of my fingers. So, yeah. That's my lesson. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Yeah, my lesson was learned. Episode 52.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're good now.
No more lessons to learn.
Not gonna make any more mistakes. Right.
Look.
Just waiting for the day we like crash a drone inside someone else's house or something.
And just like destroy everything.
Yeah.
Like
Break
devalue
like $2,000.
devalue the house by a couple $1,000.
This is only a $300 job.
Oh man. But yeah, like we were talking about with John in that episode, you know, these things happen.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna make these mistakes. It's just a part of it. It sucks when it happens,
Yeah.
but the lessons are learnt, you know? We're not gonna make those mistakes again. Which is
Nope.
nice. What is happening
What
out
is
there?
going on? Is that Doggo?
I don't know. Oh well, whatever. Do we want to talk about our new business cards? And do you want to
Of course.
do yours?
I do.
So let me go grab mine.
All right. I'm gonna. Would we reveal at the same time?
Yeah, if I can find mine.
Is it in your phone case or something?
No, I specifically didn't put it in my phone case because it
Would it
keeps
just keep popping up?
Hold on, you talk about it while I look for it.
Okay, I'm just gonna reveal it. It's.
Woo! Oh, got it.
Oh, you're too late. I already revealed it. Woof.
Woo!
Tappy card. They're called.
Yeah. So
It's the same on both sides.
yeah, they're flipped.
All right. Let me set this up.
So mine is set up, so I can show you what it does. They are like they're NFC. What's it called? NFC Business Cards. So essentially, how they work is you just tap it on the back of the person's phone, and they get all your details. So there's my phone.
Is this the first time you've ever been conned into Instagram ads?
Yep.
Yep.
This is the first Instagram ad I've ever bought.
Good on you.
But it works really well, actually, and I was quite surprised by it. So I'll show it again. I'll show it again. Look, ready? And then you just go whoop, tap, and then it shows up with your Instagram, your like whatever you want to set up, and then you just tap on it, and it goes straight through to the app.
So cool.
It's super cool. And it's super easy to set up. When you get it, you get like this little little piece of paper that has a serial code on it. Don't show your serial code.
I'm not.
Yeah, and so you set it up. You give it like a name, and you can choose what you want to put on it. So there's like a whole drop down list of all of these different things that you can put on the page when you tap your card. And it's things like Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, phone number, email address, website, Snapchat was an option as well. Like there's like literally everything you could possibly need is on there. So Joe and I's big thing was like being able to change the information on our business card.
Yeah.
Because, you know, stuff changes so quickly and we never know like when we're going to rebrand and stuff like that. So it's kind of important to us that we have a card that we can keep. And, you know, it's better for the environment. We don't have to constantly be printing out 500 business cards when we just have one that is constantly changeable and just goes to a link on the internet. It's literally like a little NFC chip. I think I can probably shine my phone through it so you can see it. There we go. I'm going to get right up close to the camera.
Oh, is it just like literally a chip in the card?
Yeah.
Is it going to focus?
Yeah. So it's just a little NFC chip
Oh.
in the card that just gets activated, that your phone just activates. It's pretty cool. I quite like it.
So how do you add? Wow.
What are you doing?
How do you add stuff?
Are you on the site?
Yeah. It's not even working.
Well,
Did you break it?
you broke it. Show me.
That's what I got.
Oh, press edit profile.
I did that.
Yeah, and then go to that. Yeah, social media. Click that. And then you pick which one you want to add.
Ah.
And then it adds a little drop down thingy. So super easy. Super easy. Stupidly so. And I'm really excited about them, actually. They only took like 2 weeks to get here as well. Yeah, sorted?
I think so. Let's see if it works.
Well, do you want to try it on my phone? Let's see.
I only have Instagram on there at the moment.
That's okay. I forgive you. Boop. That's
Aha.
Joe.
That's me.
Hey-o. Check it out. Nice Instagram.
Thanks, man. Oh, yeah, so it does just send you to that website.
Yeah, it literally just it's essentially just a link attached to an NFC chip.
Wow.
And it's just hosted on their server, so you don't have to do anything. There's no subscription, there's no recurring payments. It's literally just the card, and it was like $30 for one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super cheap.
yeah,
For a, like, endless kind of business card.
yeah. Whereas you'd pay like $15 for 500 printed business cards.
Yeah.
So it's twice as expensive, but I think this is way better.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think so, too.
I'd rather not be constantly handing out. Because my thing, this is what we were talking about. My thing with business cards is I somehow always end up just ditching them. Like, I never use the actual business card.
Yeah.
I just will put them out somewhere. And I have like a box or something where I'll just throw the business card and then I never contact the person.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is like, you tap it, they follow you on Instagram, so they constantly see you. Your phone number's attached, so they can add that to their contacts immediately. So it makes it way, way easier. It has to be the back of the phone. Is the deal. You can probably can you do Google Pay on that?
No, I don't really. I only ever do it with my case off.
Oh, okay. Your case is probably too thick, bud.
Probably. Actually, it's just straight up not going to work.
I believe in you. Come on.
Aha!
There you go. Nice.
How cool.
It is very cool.
That is very cool.
And for because some phones don't have NFC, some older phones, almost all new phones have NFC, but for the ones that don't, there's a QR code there as well that they can scan, and that is
awesome.
that's the redundancy in case the NFC doesn't work. So if someone has a phone case that's too big or something, you just get them to scan the QR code. Yeah.
That is very cool.
As easy as.
I like it.
And I'm super, super happy with it, actually.
Yeah.
I'm really keen to just like...
You just walk around the streets?
Yeah.
Tapping people's pockets?
I can't keep it on me yet, though. I have to wait for my wallet to come.
Oh, yeah.
Because I keep my cards in the back of my phone case. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that.
License falls out.
Yeah, license, my debit card with all the numbers on it. I keep all my cards in the back of my phone case, though, because literally all I have with me when I go out is my phone and my keys. I don't carry a wallet anymore.
Yeah.
Because I pay most of the time with my phone, and the only other thing I need is my license. And so I just keep my debit card in there for safety in case the phone payment doesn't work for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Which never happens anymore. So I could probably get away with it.
The day you take it out is the day it's not going to work.
That's exactly right.
It's the day you'll fill up with fuel and then go inside and then it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I just keep it with me just in case. But I'm currently, I don't know if I've talked about this on the show yet. I'm currently waiting for a case from Peak Design. They...
Good on you.
Thanks. They announced a Kickstarter campaign at the end of last year or mid last year for a bunch of phone cases and stuff. My phone isn't supported for their cases, but they have like attachments, so you can like their phone case is like a phone case, just a normal one, and it has like a clip on the back that you can clip all their accessories to. And one of their accessories is a like a fold out wallet type thing. So it sits on the back of your phone and it folds out as like a kickstand. But it can hold like 3 to 6 cards or something like that as well.
That's awesome.
So they also have like these little attachments that you can just stick onto the back of your phone case and use all of the attachments like normal. So I got that, just like the stick-on thing, just and I'm doing it like that, and then I'm gonna have that little wallet thing as well. Because the problem that I have right now is that if I keep the card in my phone case, every time I unlock my phone, it activates the NFC chip, and then the first thing I do is I go to my website. So,
Not ideal.
not ideal at all.
Are Peak Design the people that make those like quad lock phone cases?
No, Peak Design are the ones that make the quick release clips that you have.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. This is their first like foray into mobile devices. And they've done a whole thing of like, it's all about like being able to like clip it into things. So being able to attach it to like a motorbike or onto your helmet, or being able to have a wallet or a tripod or like all of this stuff, which is super cool.
That's very cool.
So yeah, it's great. I like it.
I like it too.
I'm very excited for it to come. They ship in May, I think. They said. So I've still got a little bit to go.
Yeah, we were talking about this ages ago though.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
They haven't delayed it though, which is good. It's always been May.
Yeah.
So it should be here end of May, early June.
Right. That's still a while away.
That is still a while away. But I'm really enjoying not needing to carry a wallet around.
Right.
It's just so nice.
I like it too. Ever since I got one of these cases.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. Why would I carry a wallet?
Yeah, you don't need one.
Because I carry way less cards now than I used to.
Yeah. I feel like you just fill a wallet when you have one. Whereas if you only have 3 slots, then I only use 3.
Yeah, but also I feel like I used more. Like, or I guess I just kept stuff on me all the time. Like I would always have my Go card on me.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't need that.
No. Not now.
No. Yeah, I'd always have a bunch of my stuff with me, I guess, at all times. And I had like 4 cards, like 4 debit cards as well.
What?
Well, I had one from my bank. I had an overseas one. I had one from my new bank, and then I had one from another bank that I signed up to.
Right.
So I had like several cards that I just wasn't using.
Actually, I think I had like 3 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens. Like you sign up for these like bonuses at the start, and then you get a card, and then you're like, all right, I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, wallet life is great.
Yeah.
And I'm keen to get this wallet. And then I can be free and have my business card with me.
Just smacking people's pockets.
Yeah. I was trying to stack my cards in the back of my phone strategically so that I could have this far away enough from the NFC detector that it wouldn't trigger it. But that I could still just like get my phone and just tap the back of people's phones without having to take the card out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that.
Is it still too close to
Yeah,
that?
so hopefully the wallet is far enough away
Yeah.
that it won't activate. I think it will be. I think it'll be fine. But fingers crossed. Exactly.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I might like drill a hole through a corner and attach it to my keys.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah. That might be the most likely outcome. But my keys are already massive. Like, hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hate having lots of stuff on my keys. And having like a whole card. Yeah.
These are my keys.
Too much stuff.
And like these are the only things that I actually need on a daily basis. Yeah. Like this is my everyday. This is my car keys, my home key, and my gym membership.
Well, that's what mine has. And 1 keyring.
Yeah, I have 2, 3, 4. I have 6 key rings.
Yeah.
I have 2 Spider-Man, one that I bought with you. And then I have some beads that I made with a friend of mine. And I have like a thing of photos of a bunch of photos
Oh,
with
yes.
people. And I have this thing I got from when I quit teaching.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Although my little film thing has come off,
Oh,
but it's in my car. I just need to put it back on.
right. Anyway, you want to talk about Chef?
Sure, except I have a confession. I didn't end up finishing it. I didn't have time. I was going to finish it. I was going to finish it last night, but then I didn't get home till 11:30, so I was like, no.
Why?
Because of band practice. And then I was sorting out some sound stuff, which is a good time to segue into what I was doing for most of last night.
All right, off you go.
I dived into the world of live streaming.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yep. It's how do I explain it? It's like, it's a lot more plug and play than I expected.
Yeah.
But it still took hours to set up. And we were looking for one setting in amongst like all these, in like deep in the computer settings to make it work. But it was really cool because so you need the camera to capture the video, and then you need a capture card to convert that so that your computer will run it, or so my Mac will run it. Bye. And then this is a capture card.
Yeah.
Ah. I thought you had one in your PC.
No.
Huh.
No, that's my capture card.
There you go.
Also dug out from my attic like a couple months ago from when I was doing a test trying to get the Blackmagic signal straight to my computer.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I was actually thinking of stealing the Blackmagic for streaming, but then
It's a lot of hassle. One of like your ADD will be way easier.
Yeah. Well, it was because you just like as soon as I plugged that in, plugged the capture card into the computer, and then tell the program. We were using OBS.
Yeah. I love OBS.
It's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
You just tell it that to listen to this pretty much, and it's like, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is great.
Do you have a capture card?
No, but I was borrowing one.
Oh, okay.
We need to get one.
You can pinch that one. I don't use it.
I mean, I might steal it for now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Go ahead.
for like a few weeks until they get their act together and buy one.
Yeah. All good.
But yeah, so
it'll be $2.50 a day.
$2.50 a day.
$2.50.
Oh, okay, that's right. So yeah, that was fun, and like our problem was getting audio into OBS.
Yeah.
We spent like probably 2 hours trying to like troubleshoot. We were running it from the mixer there at the event. What am I trying to say? Complex?
Sure. Place.
At the place. And we ran it into my little Zoom.
Yeah.
And used that as an interface. And then it was all like, it was working fine. There was audio going into the Zoom, so it was getting that far.
Yeah.
And then we like opened Logic on my computer, and we got audio there. So it was obviously getting into the computer. It just wasn't going to OBS.
Right.
Turned out that we just hadn't turned the permissions on for to let OBS capture audio or listen to the microphone.
It's so dumb.
It was, but yeah, 2 hours looking for that setting, looking for that little checkbox.
So dumb.
Anyway, so we did that, and then it was so easy from there. You just got to set up your little YouTube thing. Like for this live stream, it's an event that happens at the same time every week. So you just set up a little slot on YouTube, and then there's a stream link, and you put that into OBS. Then you just hit start streaming on OBS, and then boom,
Sorted.
it's all up there.
Easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. I didn't realize how easy it was.
It's yeah, like you said, it's pretty plug and play.
Yeah,
I really like setting up streaming setups actually.
yeah,
It's very like I don't know, it's very methodical.
yeah.
Like there's a very clear like sequence to it, which is really nice.
Well, you should come help me do this one because
Yeah.
they eventually want to do like multicam and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
You can do multicam with like an Atom Mini, like a Blackmagic Atom Mini, which is like you route the signals through that, and then output. So it's input output. You have 4 inputs, 1 output. And so you attach the 4 cameras, and then the output is whichever you choose to use at whatever moment.
But then that's like, how much is that? $400 or something?
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of money. I don't know if you can do multicam without that.
No, I don't think you can. Oh, actually, apparently there is some way you can do it in OBS.
Right.
If you have 2 capture cards.
Right.
But then
you're also getting into like a couple $100 territory anyway.
Yeah. And I think it takes a lot more like CPU.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, that's... No thanks.
No, thank you. So, yeah. But that's what I did most last night. That's why I didn't get home till 11:30.
Right.
Because then we didn't have sound coming through the front of house.
Love it. Awesome.
And actually, this was even more frustrating, I found, because I was on the phone to my dad, who does a lot of the sound stuff there, and he said, "Oh, just go and..." We tried a bunch of things, then he eventually said, "Just go into another scene, bring up those settings, and then go back and see if like that works." And so I did, and like you can store like heaps and heaps of settings in this thing, and you can store up to 299 scenes. So, like, that's what I mean by scene. So went into a different one, pulled it up, and then audio came out straight away. And so then I was like, okay. Well, maybe it's just something weird going with the routing internally for this scene that we normally use.
Yeah.
Went back to the first one, hit recall, all came back up, it worked fine.
Yeah, sometimes it does just need like a cute little reset. Technology's weird, man. I don't understand sometimes. Sometimes it's just completely out of your hands.
Yeah.
Like literally like what happened on Saturday. Like you've just got to reset stuff sometimes and hope for the best.
Yeah. But like I turned it off and on again like twice. I tried different things. I went to different scenes, but yeah.
Yep. I do this all the time with like Resolve and Premiere.
Yeah.
I had an issue. I have a regular issue with Resolve where I edit a whole timeline. Yeah. I try to export the timeline, and then the add to render queue button is grayed out.
Oh.
And so it won't let me render it. The way that I fix it, I go into the timeline, select all, copy, make a new timeline, paste, lets me render it.
It works.
Yep.
That's so weird.
I have no idea why.
Well, see, I'm fine with not knowing how like that a fix works in software.
Yeah, as long as I know the fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to hardware, I get mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did that work?
But sometimes it is just like...
I know.
just like, I guess I'll work now.
It's frustrating. I don't like it. It doesn't make sense.
Makes dollars.
Ah.
Did you have another thing you wanted to talk about today? I feel like you mentioned something.
Did I mention something?
I think so.
That was the thing I was talking about.
That was the thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, technology sucks. Full stop.
Yeah.
Well done.
That was my moment.
Yeah.
Spending too long setting up a live stream.
Yeah.
There was something else that went wrong this week.
Yeah, I know. You texted me about something.
Oh. Oh, yeah. What was it?
Oh, no, you didn't text it to me.
Oh,
Never mind. Sorry. Anyway, you think of that and I'll talk for a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So I am currently halfway through the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little over 2 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to finish the last 2 hours tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time this episode comes out, I will have finished it. And I'll talk about it more in depth next week.
That's such a long movie, though.
It's really good.
Is it?
Like really good.
Oh.
And I felt kind of bad that I was enjoying it. So it's really interesting. So it's split up into 6 parts, the movie. So you can watch it as a miniseries, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you can it does get very nicely split up into sections. So you can kind of go, all right, break time, or like, I'm gonna stop now.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting seeing how much of the original Justice League is just gone in the movie, in the original movie. There's all this context and these scenes and stuff that just doesn't appear or get mentioned. Like there is a whole like 30-minute sequence of Cyborg with like that actually introduces his character and like you're explained who he is and like how he got to this point and why he's a cyborg and why you should care about him as a character. Whereas like in the original movie, he just like is standing in a window kind of moody, and then Wonder Woman's like, "You work with us now," and he goes, "All right." Like, it's so interesting how much there is now, and like the tone of the movie is so much better. It doesn't feel like a Marvel ripoff. It feels like its own thing.
That's cool.
And it doesn't feel like it's dark and gritty for the sake of being dark and gritty. Like it feels like there's a reason for it being that way. Like the characters actually feel like they have depth.
That's cool.
There's context for things. The special effects are much better. It looks very different. A lot of stuff has been replaced or changed. Like it's the same scene, but like the delivery of one line might be changed, or the delivery of like one reaction might be changed. Like towards the beginning of the movie, there's like this scene where it's kind of just a throwaway scene where a janitor walks in and he sees one of the parademons in like a science lab, and it's the exact same scene except for one shot, and it's his reaction shot, and it's a very minor change, but it's so interesting that they changed it, because the original he's kind of just like, you know, like looking surprised, whereas in the new shot he actually looks scared, and it's just tiny little changes like that, and similarly there's a line that Wonder Woman says that was infamously made fun of in the original movie, where she says, "Kal-El, no." And she's like, "Kal-El, no!" in the original. Anyway, the line's the same in the new cut, but it's a slightly different take of the same line. So it's just stuff like that, where it's like slightly different. Plus, there's also massive changes as well. Like, there's a whole new villain than in the original. So, in the original, it's... I've completely forgotten his name, but the guy with the horns, he's like the main villain in the original movie. In the Snyder cut, he's like, and this is revealed right at the start, so this isn't spoiler, but he is the like lackey to a larger force. So it's really interesting how much of that's changed, and how that dynamic and how like your perception of his character's changed now based on that, because now you're like, oh, you know, this isn't like, you're not like the mastermind, this is like a Loki Thanos type situation.
That's where my mind went
to.
Like Loki in the first Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. Super interesting. And then like whole sections of the movie that just weren't there before, like we actually get like a much better introduction to the Flash as well. There's like a 15-minute sequence of him where you actually like learn about him, and he's introduced, rather than just Bruce Wayne shows up at his house and it's like, "Do you want to be in the Justice League?" "Yeah, all right." You know, that's like and that sequence is one of the best sequences in the movie so far.
That's cool.
It's like this scene where he saves Iris West from a car crash, and the way that it's done is just incredible. It's like this whole orchestral score, and everything's in slow-mo, and he's like going through and trying to like fix everything.
That's cool.
It's similar to that scene from X-Men with Quicksilver, but serious. Whereas the Quicksilver one is funny. He's like hee hee hoo hoo.
Yeah.
This is like it's very interesting how they've done it.
Right.
But I so far really, really recommend it.
Yeah.
I'm keen to finish it tonight, and I'll talk about it a lot next week, I think.
Okay.
Super cool though.
Yeah.
I'm really I'm really enjoying it, and I was going into it prepared to be disappointed, just because of how overhyped it is. Hype is worth it.
Yeah.
The hype is on point and accurate, which I was not expecting at all.
No.
I can't say I was expecting that at all. But yeah, it's very good. I'm
That's
enjoying
cool.
it.
I can't believe how long it is, honestly.
It goes really quickly.
Does it?
I was fully prepared to finish it in one sitting.
Oh,
Yeah.
why didn't you?
It was like 10 p.m.
Oh, okay.
I had to go to bed. I had work in the morning.
Right.
But no, I absolutely could have watched
Yeah.
the rest of it.
That's insane.
It doesn't feel like it's 3 hours 53 minutes.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it. Like I watched 2 and a bit hours with no questions asked.
Right. I'm keen. I want to watch it now.
Yeah, especially on the Sonos. Oh,
Oh, yes.
so good. It's so good. It's great. And they redid the whole color grade as well.
Oh, really?
It's the whole movie is regraded.
Wow.
Yeah. Whereas the original, they tried to make it like Marvel, like high saturation, bright. This is like this. It's the grade is similar to like the Dark Knight Returns,
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Knight Rises. Sorry.
It's like very. It's like green.
I
don't remember if
No,
that one was
it's
green.
like, the shadows are like very, like they're dark. The shadows are dark. Like there are parts where I'm a bit like, like a little bit Game
too
of
dark.
Thronesy, like a little overdone. But the colors are really nice. It's got like a very desaturated look to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing really pops.
Right.
It's very calm, and gritty,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes I get a bit sick of. Where I'm like, okay, like I would like some color,
Right.
but then you do get these scenes where, you get these like beautiful like landscapes, and it's still desaturated, but you're like, okay, like this is nice.
Yeah.
Especially like in the scenes in Atlantis underwater, it looks really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, I reckon you should watch it.
Yeah.
It's good. You can get it's on. So we don't have HBO Max or HBO in Australia. It's like a licensing thing. And like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, there's this cable company in Australia called Foxtel, and Foxtel bought HBO, or they bought the distribution rights for HBO in Australia.
Yeah.
They have been massive pricks about it for the past 15 years. The only way that you could get HBO in Australia was to order their like $300 cable package.
Whoa.
It was something stupid. So no one in Australia had HBO, and the only way that people in Australia, hypothetically, could get HBO shows was by pirating them.
Right.
Because there was literally no legal way for us to watch it, because HBO got onto VPNs pretty quick, and you couldn't watch, you couldn't buy HBO with an Australian card,
right.
which was really frustrating.
Yeah.
So there was no way for us to watch HBO shows. So literally, all of Game of Thrones, hypothetically, I pirated to watch them, and I would have loved to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm a massive advocate for, paying for media because it's my job.
Yeah.
But if I can't, like, there was no way for me to get it. Anyway, Foxtel has finally come to their senses in the past couple months, and they've released their own streaming service called Binge.
I didn't know that.
And it has all of their all HBO shows, plus a bunch of like Foxtel IPs that they have.
Yeah.
And so finally there is a way for us to watch HBO shows and movies in Australia. So I can finally watch all of these shows that have been like gated away from me for ages and that I've had to hypothetically pirate.
Yeah. Purely in my mind.
Yeah,
Pirate.
purely hypothetically.
Yeah.
I would never do that in real life. That I'm purely saying it in a satirical sense on this show.
Yeah.
For comedic purposes.
That's right. And it's funny.
It is funny. It's very funny, hypothetically.
It's hypothetically funny.
Hypothetically, it's hilarious. But yeah, no, they have like a 2-week free trial at the moment. So
Yeah.
hop on that, watch Justice League, watch a couple other HBO shows while you're there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap. It's like $11 a month for an SD streaming.
Right.
They're doing that like disgusting thing that streaming services do where they gatekeep the quality of their content, which I hate. I think that's the worst way to do streaming costs.
Yeah.
Just do it by number of accounts. Like,
Oh yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
yeah, like what Netflix does. Like on the base plan, you can have one concurrent device. On the
Yeah.
second plan, you can have two. On the third one, you can have three.
Yeah.
Like, just do it like that, man. Like what Binge has done is it's like the first tier is SD. You can watch it in SD, so 720p max, and then the second tier is HD.
And then third is
No, I don't think they do 4K streaming. So it's all HD. But the
dumb.
third tier is like you can have more concurrent devices. So you can have two on
HD.
the second tier, yeah, and one on the SD tier. But it's
And why is SD still a thing?
I don't know. I think you're absolutely right.
Like-
We're at the point now where SD should not be a thing anymore.
No, I thought it wasn't.
No, it absolutely is.
That's
Yeah.
so dumb.
It's stupid. 720p isn't even considered HD anymore. It's considered SD. They redid that last year. They were like, yeah, SD's like it's SD now. Whereas the max SD used to be 480.
And then 720 was HD and 1080 was full HD.
Yeah. Whereas now, yeah, you got
720 is standard.
HD essentially just means 1080 now, and then you got 4K and 8K now, and 16K if you're insane. But
Yeah,
that's a lot.
that's a lot of Ks.
It's a lot of Ks. I can't even run 16Ks,
No.
both physically and on my computer.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you have anything else you want to wrap up with?
Well, I remembered the thing.
Okay.
I remembered
Off you
what
go.
went wrong.
Yeah.
I had like a little exam this week.
Yeah.
And it was like a practical exam. And it was pretty much just, can you set up this camera rig, like efficiently and safely, and pretty much so that we know you can hire our gear.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we want to explain to me a bunch of these things. You know, what does this knob do? What is ISO and all that sort of stuff. I kind of want to read my feedback from
no.
it. It was okay, but I'll read the feedback first, and then I'll explain what kind of happened. But yeah, pretty much they had 5 cameras, and they were C100s.
Yeah.
So it was a C100. We had to put it on a tripod with an autofocus rig, follow focus rig.
Yeah.
And so they had 5 in a room. We came in and they like spread us out, and then we just like did it individually, and he'd walk around and check it, sort of thing, as we were building it. Hold up, I'm nearly there. Projects.
I'm worried now. I'm like,
It's not that bad. I was like, oh damn.
Joe.
I passed.
Okay.
I passed. But here we go. So my feedback was, great work. You were really confident in setting up and operating the equipment, but you're a bit slow. And then it was clear you had prepared and understood all the basic operations. I hadn't prepared. I wasn't there the week before when we'd actually got to use them.
It's almost like this is your job or something.
I'd set it up once in a group of 4 people, and that was it. Make sure you pack... Oh, and then they said make sure you pack away the cases too. My cases were so neat compared to everyone else's anyway. And then remember to also focus carefully by magnifying the image and zooming in as much as possible before you focus.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that.
Dumb. I don't do that either. I only do that on like
I know.
really intense shoots.
And see...
Stuff like this, I kind of just go.
And see, that's what is annoying, because I have like built muscle memory from here.
Yeah.
From you.
I'm not good muscle memory.
And what had happened on the day, the reason why I was so slow is because with the follow focus rig, it needs rods, right?
Yeah.
And it has its own base plate.
Yeah.
I spent like 20 minutes trying to put the tripod base plate straight onto the camera, and it just wasn't fitting properly. So I'm still just trying to screw it on, and I was like, you know what, stuff it. It's kind of sticking out the front. I'll just put it on like sort of lopsided so it stays there. I put the camera onto the tripod after like 20 minutes of just getting this base plate on the tripod, on the camera. Went over and went to get the next thing, and then realized that, oh wait, this follow focus base plate needs to go on the camera before the tripod base plate. So then I spent another 10 minutes pulling the base plate off the camera and then doing it all again.
That's on you, man. Like,
That's because I'm so used to coming here and putting a base plate straight on a camera.
that's so funny. I would have done the same thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny though.
That like the rest, it went up so quick. Everything was great. He came over and asked me all these technical things. I was like, yeah, that's that. ISO does this. Shallow depth of field is whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going all red. You're really embarrassed by this.
No, I'm not embarrassed. I'm hyped up because I was mad. Because as soon as I'd done that, I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it.
That's so funny.
But yeah.
Oh, well, lesson learned.
Yeah. So that was my lesson learned. Put the follow focus plate on first.
Well done. All right. Well, let's finish there on that high note. Thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of The Froe Show. Joe, do you want to tell them where they can find us on social media?
Yes, you can find us on Instagram at Froe Media and Twitter at The Froe Media.
Yes. And if you want to see more, check us out on patreon.com/The Froe Show. I'm going to be playing Legend of Zelda on on this episode. So see you over there. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week for episode 56. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.